Welcome back, we the people. We continue to heal the world with the truth as we know it. You know, once we try to live by what we know is right and do the right things, and we start with ourselves, as Michael Jackson said, start with the man in the mirror or woman in the mirror, it spreads out from our center and around us and spreads out into the world. So let's continue to heal the world with truth. The planet needs healing. Mother Nature is angry and she's getting rid of all the manifestation of mankind and the pestilence, all the plastics and all the pollution that we're damaging our atmosphere and the earth with. So let us not be a part of that. Let us be a part of a better world. And live a life that tries to heal the planet. Continuing reading the book of Revelation, L's Holy Injiyl, we're on chapter 12, verse 1. The heading of this chapter is The Vision of a Woman in Heaven, crowned with 12 stars and the moon at her feet. The heading of this verse, verse 1, that was the heading. That wasn't the chapter, that was the heading of verse 1. King James mistranslation. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. The right translation by Dr. York. And there was seen a big sign to the world in the heavens, which is in the Orion skies, a 6-star constellation, a confident wife, who was Hadrat Fatima, daughter of Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin and Khadija, not Mary, the mother of Jesus, as some so-called Christian scholars would have you believe. This woman is also symbolic of the re-establishment of Al-Islam in its pristine purity in the Western Hemisphere, as was practiced by the Ansaru Allah community then in the world, of having been thrown about with the sun, saying that she was pure, chaste, and unadulterated, and the moon, in brackets, Kingu, Leviathan, close brackets, underneath her feet, symbolic of the reappearance of Al-Islam, and upon her head a crown of royalty and authority of 12 years, each one representing the 12 tribes of Ishmael. Nabajoth, inverted commas, one who moved the heights. Kedar, in quotation marks, those of the black, dark brown skin, close quotation. Abdil, in quotation, slave of El, close quotation. Midsam, quotation, he who makes sweet odors, a perfume maker, close quotation. Mishma, quotation, he who will be trialed and hard, close quotation. Duma, quotations, he who cannot speak, close quotation. Massa, he who had Urim and Thummim to relieve the burdens, close quotation. Hadar, in quotation, he who is the warrior of thunder, close quotation. Tima, in quotation, the dweller of the Arabian desert, close quotation. Jitor, in quotation, he who will be imprisoned, closed quotation. Nafish, in quotation, he who is spiritually refreshing, close quotation. And Kidima, in quotations, he who will moved to the next, he who will move to the east, close quotations. These are the 12 princes. It is also symbolic of the 144,000 who will be like the 12 tribes of Israel, which only means they will have the natures of the tribe of Israel, and they will possess their different personalities. Verse 2. King James mistranslation. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered, close quotation. Dr. York's translation. And she, Hadrat Fatima, was pregnant, screaming because of her labor pains, suffering hardships from the pains of birth. Christians teach that this woman who is experiencing the pains of childbirth is the Holy Christian Church, which is impossible because if the woman is symbolic of the church, then the church gave birth to Jesus. This is just another one of the many contradictions that these so-called scholars use to try to explain the meaning of the scriptures. And the two sons of Al-Imam Hassan and Al-Imam Hussein, who came through her, which was the rebirth of Al-Islam and the new city of peace, the child born to her also represents the coming of the rebirth of the elite few, the 144,000 that will come forth from the Holy Tabernacle Ministries. Her labor pains simply meant that her family, the Alil Bayt, in quotations, family of the house, close quotation, and all those who followed them because of their belief in the Most High Sustainer and because they kept all of the laws of the scriptures and underwent persecution. Chapter 12, verse 3, the heading of verse 3. The seven-headed red serpent with 10 horns and 7 crowns. King James mistranslation. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Close quotation. Dr. York's Right translation. And there was seen another sign to the world in the heavens, and behold, a big fiery red dragon, being violent and vicious, projecting desire and evil. The dragon here is symbolic of the beast that will rise up in the days of the last empire, the Babylonian Empire, or the new Roman Empire, as it is sometimes called. Having 7 heads, being the major powers of the United Nations: the United States, England, Russia, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, and 10 horns representing the Sacred Council of Brotherhood, who make up this new world empire. It is also known as the European Economic Community, or EEC, the Common Market, and 7 crowns upon his heads, representing their ruling power, who are all descendants of the cursed seed of Canaan, in brackets, Libana, close brackets, and are succeeding in controlling the 4 corners of the planet Earth by instilling the New World Order, which is not new anymore. The fact that they are the leading authorities of these 7 countries. Verse 4, chapter 12, verse 4, heading: A third of the messengers are cast to the planet Earth. Let us continue on the next recording of chapter 12, verse 4. See you on the other side.